Hello and welcome to another episode of the Lily Pod, Catapult Greater Pittsburgh's podcast, where we speak with community members, elected officials, and today, entrepreneurs. Many of you know that we have had a podcast called Another Black Creator. Well, we've decided to merge the two. Another Black Creator will be a segment of the Lily Pod. So we will continue to lift up and highlight the incredible work that many of our Black entrepreneurs in this city are doing. And today we are being joined by Tanya Pugh. Hey, Tanya. Tanya,
Hey.
I am so excited that you're here. I'm excited that we are reigniting another Black creator to close out this season. We have some incredible interviews lined up for next season. But how do you feel about joining us for our very last episode this season?
Oh my goodness. I am so excited, truly honored, because Catapult is doing some amazing things in our community, in our city. I want to say you're going worldwide.
Yes.
We're going to speak that.
Speak it. Yes.
However, I'm just truly honored to be here. Super excited to have a conversation, chit chat.
Listen, we're excited to have you. Let's jump right in. Tell us about your businesses, because you have more than one, but tell us about your businesses, and then we'll talk about how you got connected to Catapult.
Sure. So I have Yayaz Hair Studio. I'm the owner and creator of that. It's a salon in a private setting. So you'll get all of the vibes, all of the feels of the salon atmosphere, but you have an intimate private setting for yourself to relax. And then secondly, I have Nourish to Flourish journals, which came about during COVID. I realized that I had a lot of stuff, we'll say, that I had to deal with myself. And I began to write. I began to journal. I remember some of the things going through therapy that were put into practice. And so I thought, oh my goodness, so many people need this in the salon world as well, because we know more about our clients than some of their spouses do. So just wanting to be able to provide a resource to my clients, that's where Nourish to Flourish was birthed, and it has just taken off.
I love that. I love that because I have a very special relationship with my stylist and have had some incredible relationships with stylists over the years, for as far back as I can remember. I remember feeling like the salon was a safe space for me to vent, for me to have, just time to release a lot of the things that I might have been going through, good and bad. And the idea of having a journal that sort of follows that, the spirit of the salon, I think that's a great idea. Tell us more about the journals. First of all, where can we buy them?
Oh, well, they are actually located at the gallery on Center.
At the gallery on Center
Avenue. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I, again, am truly honored that they are there. So if you are interested in seeing what is available to you, because there are a lot of other entrepreneurs that are featured there, but the journals are certainly there. They come in all sizes, all colors. They are designed by myself, and they are affordable. So stop by the Gallery on Center.
I love that. So for those of you that don't know, the Gallery on Center is a retail incubator space that Catapult Greater Pittsburgh has launched almost 5 years, which is insane. Almost 5 years ago, we launched the Gallery on Center. That sounds insane. But it is a retail incubator space where folks who have gone through our programming have a safe space to grow, to learn what the market feels about their product, and just a space for people to get familiar with products of up-and-coming entrepreneurs. So I'm happy that your products are in the space. I am actually it's this time of year where I am in the market for some new journals. And you hear, I said journals, yes, because I am a journal girly.
Yes.
I am definitely a journal girly, and I love a good journal, but I especially like a good journal created by Black women, right? Because I think Black women have sort of an insight into, first of all, we don't have a lot of safe spaces to talk about what's happening with us. So we have bought into this idea that we keep our deepest, darkest thoughts inside into ourselves, and that is perpetuating mental health disorders.
It is.
So I love that Although, I think as a culture, we have struggled in the past and historically with getting connected with therapy and getting connected with our mental health. And as a result, many of us are walking around suffering in silence and feeling that being strong is not connected with being mentally healthy. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. I want to hear, as you were creating the journal, as you were designing it, what were you thinking that was very specific to the needs of Black women?
I was thinking along the lines of what you were just talking about, because we are the type of women who say, it's okay, I got it. And we pick up a 10-pound weight and we put it on our back. And then something else happens. We go into the work world. We go into our homes where we have to take care of our children, or some of us are in relationships and there's some things that have given us scars and wounds even from childhood. And we say, it's all right. I just do what I got to do. Because what do Black women know how to do?
Just get doing.
What we got to do.
Just get doing.
Yeah,
right?
we just get to doing. But then when you actually sit down and you realize some of the low tolerance that we have is because of the emotions that we are storing inside, our fatigue, our exhaustion, how we handle others in relationships, all has to do with ourselves. So if we begin to nourish ourselves and really deal with our stuff, process it, think about where is this coming from? And sometimes it's just as simple as saying, I am not okay.
I'm not okay. And I want to just touch on it because one thing I have picked up over the years is when you ask a Black woman how she's doing, one of the responses that I always get is, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And to me, and yes, it's beautiful to feel blessed in the midst of struggle. I think that is very important to be grateful and show gratitude for what you do have and how you, regardless if it's a bad feeling, I'm here to feel it, right? So I'm blessed in that. However, I do believe that it's become sort of a standard response to the question, how are you? And I think a lot of Black women use that I'm blessed response as a way to avoid talking about what's really going on.
Right.
So I know that you're a Christian. I know that you are very active in your Christianity. How do you straddle that fence of, yes, we are supposed to always look to God for our healing, and I need to take some control over my own health and mental health? How do I, as a and I'm not Christian, by the way. Most people know that I'm Muslim. The principle still applies.
It's still the same,
right? People still say if you're depressed, if you're not feeling well, if you are in a mental space that feels dark and gloomy, that all you got to do is pray yourself away from it. What do you think about that?
Oh, this is juicy. And I love that we're going here because, yes, I can have Jesus and therapy. I can pray and have therapy. And I think that a lot of times what people miss is that God has given you the ability to think. He's giving you free will. He says things like, his word says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And so if you are only thinking that, okay, I'm blessed, God is waiting. Your creator, whoever you believe in, your higher power, your creator is waiting for you to hand over your issues, your concerns, and trust enough that he has the ability to handle and walk you through it. It's almost like if you have a wound or a scar, if you don't take that Band-Aid off, some parts of, let me backtrack a minute. When a wound is healing, right? For some time, you do have to keep it covered so that it doesn't get infected, right? But over time, if you keep that wound covered, it doesn't have the ability to heal. Yes. And so as it relates to your spirituality, you have to be able to speak those things. And also what it creates when you just say, I'm blessed, it creates an automatic response of, oh, okay, well, she's blessed and I'm just going to keep
piling stuff on her. I'm going to just keep giving her another load to carry. Women, if you don't hear anything else, I am specifically talking to Black women right now. If you don't get anything else out of this conversation, get that. Right.
Please.
We must start being honest about what's happening to us physically, emotionally, psychologically, all of it. Because if we're not addressing ourselves at every level, we will not reach our full potential.
At all.
And in Islam, what we say is, yes, we have to pray, right? We are mandated to pray. We are mandated as believers to pray and to acknowledge that Allah, God, is the all-knowing, and no matter what, he already sees what is in the book for us. But that doesn't mean that we don't tie our camel. You still got to tie your camel.
Right.
And that means you still have to do your work.
Right.
You still have to protect yourself. You still have to believe that you have the strength and the mindset and the intelligence and the strength to do the things that he is guiding us to, right? So yes, listen, that I'm blessed. We have to get out of, you are blessed.
Absolutely.
You are blessed. However, you also have to get well. And in order to get well, you got to do the work. You got to figure out the spaces that you're not well. You've got to face them. You've got to acknowledge them, and you've got to do your work while you're praying, while you're believing. You still got to do your part. So I love that. And I think journaling is a really good way for people to vent in a safe way that feels safe, because this is only for you. And you know, I realized I've been a journaler since I was a child. I've been journaling since I was a child.
Me too.
Right? But there were times back then where I felt safer doing that. I realized along the years that I started lying to my journal.
Ooh.
I was just a line in my journal, right? Because that meant I wasn't ready to address the things that needed to be addressed. And it's really interesting that even in this space where it's supposed to be just for us, I still wanted that journal to see me a certain way.
Right.
I wanted the journal.
Nobody's looking at these pages but you. But you know what? That brings up how often we lie to ourselves about our situations.
Yep. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. No. He didn't mean that when he said that. He really...
Guess what? Because my mind would go, my mind goes back and says, so what he really said was, or she, or whatever the situation is. So we got to stop lying to yourself, because it really doesn't do anything for your progress. And how are you able to even receive all of these new things that you want, or the next, if you're not willing to deal with what's already there?
That's right.
You gotta,
you can't.
Yeah, this is good.
This is good because most people know that I'm a pretty transparent person. I try to be transparent, but I haven't always been this way.
Right.
I haven't always been this way out of fear of what people would think about me. I wasn't necessarily confident in how I was moving, and it just didn't feel safe to share. And when you get to the point where it doesn't even feel safe to share with yourself, you got some work to do.
Yeah, you do. Right? And it truly affects anything that you think that you want to do. Like if you're in this entrepreneurial atmosphere, but you haven't really dealt with yourself yet, your movements...
You're gonna fail, child.
Listen,
look at the camera and tell them you're gonna fail.
You're gonna fail.
Okay, because if you don't know who you are,
if
you don't even know why you made the choice to be here, it's
how can you relay it to anyone else?
It's gonna get rough.
Yeah.
Ooh. So tell me about the hair, because see, that's also part. We love our hair.
Yes,
talk about the hair.
Let's talk about it. So if you don't look good, you don't feel good, right? And so with hair, I absolutely love giving you the healthiest options for your hair, no matter what the hairstyle, without you compromising the integrity of your hair. So as Black women, we are so versatile. I just love us. There is just no greater hair world but the Black hair world, because we do it all. And guess what? We take on the persona of whoever it is. Like, honey, I could be Becky one day. I can be, I don't know,
we can do whatever we want.
I could do whatever I want.
There's a freedom to that.
But there is a freedom to that. And so when it comes to the salon world, that's why I wanted to be able to offer that private space, because sometimes we're not really sure even in that aspect of what we can do. But I love being able to allow people to have the space to just create and express themselves through their hair.
I love that. So tell us about Yayaz. How did Yayaz come about?
So Yayaz, the name Yayaz came from my nephew. Shout out to my nephew. He could never say Tanya.
Oh, how cute.
And so he would call me Auntie Yaya.
Oh, I love that.
But as I did more research, Yaya actually means grace by Yahweh.
Wow.
And so I wanted to create a space that everyone knew that they were graced by Yahweh.
Tell
To
them,
live, to
everybody
breathe.
doesn't know who Yahweh
Yah,
is.
Yah, God, your
Yeah.
creator. So we are graced by him to move in these spaces. All the uncomfortableness, all the places that we feel unsure, we are graced by him to operate and move. And he created you to express yourself in your unique way, your unique style.
Wow. And hair is one of the best ways to do that.
Absolutely.
So tell people how they can find you.
I am located at Sola Salon Studios in Monroeville, PA 15146 is the zip code. Address is 330 Mall Plaza Boulevard. I'm in Studio 9. I'm also present on Instagram under Yayaz Hair Studio, on Facebook under Yayaz Hair Studio. So that's very simple. And then on TikTok, if you want to see a little bit of behind the scenes, some personality, I am Empress Yaya, the number 1.
Nice. I love it. So one of the questions that I can't let you leave here without answering. How did you find Catapult Greater Pittsburgh, and why? What did you need what were you looking for that led you to Catapult Greater Pittsburgh?
So when I was introduced to Catapult Greater Pittsburgh, I was in my yes season. I was in a season of seizing every opportunity that came to me. And on social media, I followed Catapult, and I saw the opportunity to apply for the Catapult program. And so I just said, you know what? I'm doing it.
Good. And we're
I'm
so
doing
glad
it.
you did.
And when I got the response to even interview, it was like, oh my goodness, is this really happening? It's happening. But I just love the experience. The confidence that you see, the excitement that you see was all developed through being a part of the Catapult program.
Well, that makes me very,
thank
very
you.
happy to hear that. There was a time when we first started the entrepreneurship programs where I was leading every session.
Wow.
This is 7 years ago now. 7 years is insane. But I knew everybody. I knew I handpicked every single cohort member. I was at every weekly technical assistance training. I led some of the trainings. I was in the incubator because we were in our building phase, right? And I wanted to be there with everybody. And I haven't been because we've grown. We have an incredible staff that is leading all of our programming now and just growing this model in a way. Shout out to Lachelle and Kayla who are killing it. But it's caused me to step back, right, and focus on the bigger picture. But I miss it. I miss knowing everybody personally, right? And so I think this is going to be a great way for me to get reconnected with that part of the work again that I really, really miss, knowing who everybody is. I don't feel good having to, reach out and be like, somebody send me background on, somebody send me background on our guests, and there's a bitter sweetness to that, right? The bitter is that I don't know you guys as well as I would like to. The sweet is that we've grown in a way that we have been able to hire staff and I've been able to take my hands off of it because I trust my team. And then I still get this opportunity to meet some of you in this intimate way. So it's bittersweet for me. As again, we're closing out another year. I run so hard and so fast during the year, excuse me, that I miss a lot. I have such focus and tunnel vision on what comes next for Catapult Greater Pittsburgh and everybody who's a part of that. But I miss knowing everybody. I miss building those relationships with everybody. So it makes me happy to see that people are joining Catapult and becoming part of the Catapult family, and are doing such incredible things and are building these great relationships with your cohort peers and our team. So I am happy to have had the opportunity to sit with you, and get to know you a little bit better. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for the growth that this organization has had. I'm excited for the growth that the people who put their trust in us have had. And I know we couldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you guys trusting us and allowing us into your hopes and dreams. So is there anything else you'd like to say before we shut this thing down for the year?
Yes, I actually want to say something to you.
Okay.
you saying what you just said is actually living proof that having balance works.
Yeah.
You know, we're delegating, and make no mistake, your presence is there.
Yes.
Regardless, regardless of if you are there in the physical, you are there. Your handiwork is all throughout how the program is developed. Everyone on the staff is basically emulating what it is that you have set forth. So thank you for
it's my pleasure.
Being a visionary, for making sure that every little piece is orchestrated the way that it's supposed to, and just being as transparent as you are, because that inspires us as up and coming entrepreneurs to realize that, hey, yeah, we can have this, but we all can have this.
We all can have it. Yes.
That's my final statement.
I love that.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who has watched this season. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. And listen, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for?
Hit the little ad
you are
button,
missing some incredible conversations with people who are doing such good work, both from a community standpoint and an entrepreneurial standpoint. And I am super excited for what comes next year. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. Thank you for trusting us with your dreams and your hopes. And I'm looking forward to meeting some of you next year. If you're interested in being on the show, send us an email. You can email us at info@catapultpittsburgh.org. We're going to be thinking of other great ways to engage the community and engage our audience next year. But for now, I hope you had a beautiful year. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next year on the Lily Pod.